What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be doing another tier list. And lads, this is going to be one of our biggest tier lists ever. It'll be one of our biggest tier lists ever. Take a look, lads. We got a lot. That's all I'm going to say is we have got a lot of players, lads. So, now, let's go and get on to it. So, let's change it away from the Christmas music. Let's go to the normal background music because this is just a normal old video. So let's go to normal background music. So, now let's scroll. So, first player we got is Nick Batum. S tier is only going to be my best 10 players. I'm going to put Batum A, but he's a lower A tier player. He's definitely on the lower side of A tier. I don't mind Batum at all. I know some people aren't the biggest fans of him, but I think he's an almost perfect card, especially when he's evoed up to that pink diamond. I think there are pretty much no flaws with him. So I'm putting him in A tier. We're gonna go C, maybe D tier. I'll go C for now. He could easily drop down to sorry, not B tier. He's C tier. I'll go C tier. I don't know why I said D tier. No, I'll go C tier with him. So next we have got Alex English, worthless. Alex English sucks. Like, as far as like bad cards in his game are, I mean, he's one of them. I know a lot of people don't like it when I say that a card sucks because they like the card, but I mean, what's the point in saying a card doesn't suck when said card sucks? Like, people are so angry me putting him worthless tier last time. He's worthless. He's absolutely worthless. Houston, D. Houston is not as good. I stand by that. Houston is not very good in this game. He's really not very good. So I'm gonna put him into D tier. Now we got Iverson. Iverson's F. Iverson can kind of score. Like, he can kind of score, so I'm not as low on Iverson as most people are. But I also don't particularly like the card. I think at this stage of the game he's really weak. Amari is going to go F tier as well. He's one of the worst Galaxy Opal cards, or worst Pink Diamond cards in the game. He doesn't really do anything. Like, Amari really does not do anything. Andrei Kirilenko. Go get yourself into A tier. He's one of the better cards in the game, but he's no longer in the best 10 players. I don't think he's particularly close to being in the best 10 players either. So then we have got Andre Miller. At this stage in the game, I'm going to put him worthless tier. Like, I think at this stage he's essentially worthless. Wiggins, F. Again, a card that has had periods in the game where he's been okay. But right now, I don't know. I don't rate him. I do not rate Andrew Wiggins at all. Antoine Jameson, E. Jameson's not horrendous, I guess. Like, there are way worse players. There are way worse players than him. So yeah, let's go E tier. AD, B or C? Like, I don't mind Anthony Davis. I really don't. I think he's an all-around decent card. I think he is just an all-around decent card. But the problem is that his rebounding's not great. And I don't know. I just think he's okay. I just think he is just absolutely okay. That's the only way that I can describe that. He's just kind of okay. So and we got Edwards, E or D. We'll go D tier for now. Edwards can kind of dribble. He can kind of shoot. Edwards is pretty good. Sabonis. I'm going to put Sabonis A. He might go down. Sabonis, again, a really good player. Really, really good player here in our Vitas Sabonis. He can move. But, like, he can move a little bit and he's huge. Like, that's the thing. The guy is a giant. And he's going to go into A tier. A lot of these guys are just kind of low tiers. Like, D tier for Bam Adebayo. Like, again, Bam. Not the worst card in the world. Not the best card in the world. He's just kind of Bam Adebayo. So, he's going to go into there. So, then we have got Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace, at this stage of the game, E. Plays a little bit of defense, but, like, that's kind of all that Ben Wallace is going to do. Not really going to play much offense there now, is he? So, yeah, he's going to go into there, into E tier. Girvin, C? I think C tier maybe for Girvin? I'm not the highest on that card. I think there are a few, like, decent things that Girvin does. I'm also a lot higher on some other players. Then we have got Bernard King. He's either B or A. Bernard King is either B or A. So, I'll put him in B for now. He might go up to A. Like, he may or may not go up to A. So, I don't know. I'm going to put him in B for now. Okay, so next we have got Jimmy Butler. Jimmy's in that Rocco tier of C. He's perfectly fine. Not spectacular, but I mean, perfectly fine is the best way to describe him. Like, he's not going to be a bad card in your team. He's really not at all. So then we have got Bingo Smith. Bingo Smith's going to go a tier lower. No, he's going to go a tier lower, D. And I'm kind of cool with Bingo Smith being in D tier. Again, some people might have him higher. For me, I think D is the perfect spot for him. I think that if we're looking at guys and you're saying he's a really good token market reward, and I will say at the time he was a pretty good token market card. I did enjoy using that card quite a lot. It's just as time has gone on, he's just kind of outclassed. He's really just been outclassed, if I'm being completely honest. Balake Griffin. I'm gonna say F. I don't think he even plays. He doesn't play that much offense. He doesn't really play much defense. So Balake Griffin, I'm gonna go F tier with him. It's kind of a crazy one because I thought there was no chance we put him down this low, but I mean, I guess I am. So then we have got Bobby Jones. And I'm going to put Bobby Jones because he plays no offense. He's basically Ben Wallace. You have to use a shooting center beside Bobby Jones. You have to use a shooting power forward beside Ben Wallace. Bob Cousy. Both versions of Bob Cousy I'm going to put in F tier. Like, he's not unusably bad, but, like, not good either. Like, he's really not good. Both versions are pretty much the exact same in the fact that they're not good. Except you got half mismatch expert in the Amethyst, which probably makes the Amethyst a bit better. Bob Pettit. At this stage of the game, I'm going to put Bob Pettit in E tier. I love Bob Pettit, though. Brad, worthless. I'm just going to put in all the worthless players. Guys, there's just no point ever using. At this stage of the game, like, you guys can see how many cards I have here. There's got to be more worthless guys. Gilbert's going into worthless. I might move some of these guys down. I mean, Ingram's very close to being worthless. Des Mason's worthless. I don't know why Des Mason's on this list. DeRozan, with or without the dynamic duo, is worthless. He's a scrub. I don't care what anyone says. I'm telling you, look at his stats. For anyone who's there like, oh, he's actually not that bad. No, he's a trash can. He is an actual trash can. With or without the duo, he is a trash can. He gets a tiny bit better shooting, and all the badges that he gets are worthless badges anyway. So, like, it makes no odds. It makes absolutely no odds. But they're all worthless. Who else is worthless? Dirk definitely is worthless. Like Ace and Kid's not worthless. Jerry Lucas is worthless. He is an absolute trash can. He's awful. He's absolutely awful. He's like a significantly worse version of the he is like a significantly worse version of Bob Pettit. Julius Randle, I've used that Ruby, which is the same card. He sucks. He actually sucks. I didn't mind him when he first came out because, it was point center gimmick when he was the only one and no center set clamps, but he's actually terrible. Who else belongs in worthless tier? I don't have Bagley here, do I? Where's Ewing? Surely Ewing somewhere. Where's Patrick Ewing? You're hiding on me, Patrick. You're hiding on me because I know I put you on this list because, as always, if you guys don't know, it's a thing on this channel. I only put Patrick Ewing on. There he is. You can run, but you can't hide, Mr. Ewing. I only put Ewing on these lists to put him worthless tier. If I had Diamond Alonzo Mourning would go into worthless tier. Valanciunas is worthless. He's awful. Like, Domantas Sabonis is better. He can't even shoot that well. And he almost broke a 3-point shooting record with his moments card and he can't even shoot that well. No others that I can see straight away that are worthless though. Some of these guys might go into it. Ingram F doesn't play any defense whatsoever. Decent on offense though, so he's kind of skipping that worthless there. I think I severely underrated Brandon Ingram because he doesn't really play defense, but he's actually pretty decent on offense. Devon Harris F tier, he sucks. He absolutely sucks. Bruce Bowen D. Bruce Bowen solid. He's a little bit worse than Jimmy and Rocco, but he's solid. Gus Gerard. Gus Gerard is an interesting tier. I think I'm gonna go D tier with Gus at this stage. I think he's just been. No, Gus is better than Girvin. I'll move Girvin down one tier and move Gus up to C. Joel Embiid, C. Both Embiids are C tier. Hondo, E tier. No, Hondo's as good as Bruce Bowen. Hondo's really, really solid, so I'm going to put him into this tier. Trying to think what else we have. So we've got this Bruce Bowen. Bring him all the way down to the bottom because I knew there were two players on this list that were allowed. There were two of them. I know one of them is Steph Curry. Mello A. I don't think Melo's in the best 10 players in the game. I'm not as high on Mello as most people are. I don't know why. I've just never been that high on Carmelo Anthony this year. I just think he's fine. It's kind of the only way I've ever been able to describe using Carmelo Anthony in this game is fine. So, my voice is kind of going. I definitely need to do some sort of exercises because my voice is starting to really go. John Wall. I'm going to put him A, but he's hovering. He's definitely hovering. Coron Butler, E. I don't rate Coron Butler. I've used him. I have a duplicate of him. He's not great. Chris Bosh at this stage in the game. Chris Bosh is E tier. He was good when he came out though. Mullen, C. Mullen's alright. He shoots the ball. He's decent. He's C tier. CP3. I mean, if Iverson's in F tier, CP3 and Cousy, they all gotta go F tier, don't they? Weber's gonna go B for now. Was really good when he came out though. Chris Webber was a spectacular card. And if you're wondering why I'm kind of going over these cards quickly, it's because we've got so many to go through. We are currently on the letter C. There are 26 letters in the alphabet. We still have 23 letters to go in the alphabet. We still have quite a long time to go. Clyde, B. Badged up Clyde, B tier. Badged up Clyde's really, really good, but he's going to go B tier. Danilo Gallinari, he's going to go E tier because he's a 6'10 guard or 6'10 wing, but I mean, he's not the greatest card in the world either. Granger's going to go C. Again, a 6'9 wing who can shoot the ball really well. If he could play a 2 guard, he'd be better, but I'm cool with that. Darius Miles, at this stage in the game, Darius Miles is better, is as good as Antoine Jameson, so he's going to go E tier, but it's a just about an E tier spot. He's not great. At this stage, Griffith is the F tier. Dave Bing. I prefer Dave Bing to most people because I kind of like Set Shot 4. I don't love Set. It's not one of the best. I'm not going to say it's one of the best releases in the game, but I agree with it very easily. So I'm going to go E tier for Dave Bing. But if you are one of the people that are saying that Dave Bing belongs in F tier or worthless, I'm not going to argue. D-Rob, our first S tier player. He still is. He came out 6 weeks ago, and you could argue that he might be the best player in the game. You can't argue that. Not even going to lie. Davian Mitchell. Oh, Kevin Garnett's not on this list, is he? He potentially is not on this list. Davian Mitchell's going to go F tier. He's not that much worse than like an Iverson or CP3, but he's not great. De'Aaron. At this stage, De'Aaron's going to go E tier. There's a better De'Aaron. DeAndre Jordan. Similar level to Bam. D tier. It's not DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan's going to go E tier. He's like worse Will Chamberlain. DeJounte. I'm going to C tier for DeJounte. Both versions of DeJounte, I think, are going to go C tier. They're definitely like C tier level point guards. They're pretty good. Like maybe B tier. I'm going to put him in B tier for now. I'm going to put DeJounte in B tier because I like the other DeJounte especially. I'd never enjoyed this Robin. He was okay for his time. I always preferred Darius. I'm going to give him E tier, but I mean, it's a whole just scraping onto E tier. Darren. I'm at Darren Williams in F tier. I prefer Dave Bing, honestly, to Darren Williams. Derrick Rose, I'm going to put in... He's either going E or F. I'm going to go E tier. I'm going to go E tier because I think I prefer De'Aaron, or he's better. He's as good as De'Aaron. Yeah, he's not objectively better than De'Aaron, but he's as good as De'Aaron. Devon Booker. This Booker I'm going to put in E tier. He can cook. I'm going to put him in D tier. He can... No, E tier. Kempe Mutombo getting into B tier. He still mashes. He still mashes with the best of them. Like, he's still a huge body. Like, there are still a lot of really good things that Kempe Mutombo does in game. So we are going to put him into B tier. Dolph. I'm going to put Dolph in A with the potential to move up. Rather than having him in S and move him down, I'm going to put him in A with the potential to move up. Dominique Wilkins. I'm going to put him in F. Put him in F. I'll put Mitchell in... I'm going to put Mitchell in E tier. He's just too little. And his burst isn't as effective anymore, and he doesn't even play point guard, but he was great for his time, man. He was great for his time. Duncan Robinson, at this stage, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to stick with worthless. Dwight, we're slightly better Ben Wallace. I mean, he's C/D. He's an inside big. I'll go D tier, but I mean, if you want to put him lower, it's fine. Wade, I'm going to put Wade in... I'm going to put Wade in E tier. I hate this Wade so much. I hate him. Elgin Baylor, he's going to go C. I think his stats overall are good. His dribble style is not the best, but I like his release. I do think he's a step above like an Allen Houston. And I think he's just like actually just a better Bingo Smith. That's the best way to describe him. Eric Snow. As far as point guards go, I'm going to go. He's a tier below DeJounte. I'm going to go C tier. He shoots the ball really well. His handle's great. He's got like 95 steal. He's got like 95 lateral defense. He got a big player build. So I'm going to go C tier for Snow. Freddie VanVleet. You know, F tier for him as well. Oh. It's a weird one. Like, I think I've messed up the tiers because there is no way that Eric Snow is 3 tiers. 1, 2. He's 3 tiers better than Fred VanVleet and better than Chris Paul. And Eric Snow is not 2 tiers better than D-Rose. So D-Rose is going to go up 1 tier. We're going to move CP3 up 1. Going to move... I don't like Devon Harris. So I'm going to move Chris Paul up 1. I'm going to move Darren Williams. I'm going to move Freddie VanVleet up 1. I think I'm going to move Fred into E tier. That looks better. I'm okay with Snow being 2 tiers ahead of them, 1 tier ahead of Rose. But he's not 2 tiers ahead of Rose and 3 tiers ahead of them. Gary Payton. I mean, it's him. For me, it's him versus Magic. I'm going to move him in S, but he might move down. It's him or Magic for the second best point guard. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, this is where Mr. Debo gets very, very angry. This is where Mr. Debo gets very, very angry, isn't it? S, George Mikan. Second best center in the game, and I stand by that. I said today he came out, and I stand by that statement that George Mikan is the second best center in all of NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. So then we have got Gerald Wallace. Oh, wrong Gerald Wallace. Oh, this card sucks. F tier. This Gerald Wallace, though, is going into A tier. I think A tier is the no-brainer slot for him. I think he's a really, really good player to put at that level because like he plays defense, he shoots the ball really well. I mean, maybe you could argue him higher. And that's the scary thing is like you could maybe argue him higher than that, but yeah, I don't know. No, he's not S. He's not S. Oscar Robertson still more than usable. D. I'll go D tier for Big O. I think maybe you could argue him C tier, but I just don't. Yeah, he's a little bit off that, but he's really good. Glenn Robinson is gonna go into C tier. Still a really solid player in the same tier as Gus Gerard. I think they're very similar. Grant Hill, B. At this stage in the game, Grant Hill is a B tier card. No question about that. Grant Hill on the 21st of December is a B tier card, not any higher. Okay, Hal Greer, F. He's not unusable, but he's not good. Isaiah Thomas, C. I think Isaiah Thomas is on a similar level to Eric Snow. I really do. I think maybe he's a little better than Eric Snow. Maybe you could argue him up. I'm gonna put him. I'll put him B. Suggs, E. I think Suggs is better than Darren Williams. I don't think Suggs is on the level of an Oscar Robertson or a Derrick Rose, so I'll go B tier for him. Or sorry, not B tier, E tier for him. Jamal Mashburn. I mean, he just does everything at a solid rate, so I'm gonna put him in C. He's very expensive though, so he's not worth it. Harden, B. Harden's still so good, man. Most of the difference between the two James Hardens is that one of them has got all gold badges, and the other one has got pretty much like all like lower badges, but still a brilliant player. Or sorry, this one's got all silver badges, the other one's got like all gold badges. But Asen Kidd, I'm sorry, for the same reason as a few others, we're gonna have to put Asen Kidd down a tier. But I don't mind. I don't mind Asen Kidd at the same time. Oh, this is a tough one. But yeah, I'll keep him in E tier. Like, I don't mind him on defense. Millsap, D, a tier lower than Robert Covington. I don't mind Millsap. I don't think he's brilliant though. And Jason Terry. See, he keeps the J in his name because he actually has a J. I'm gonna get Jason Terry D tier for me. He just kind of reminds me of Eric Snow without the defense. So then we got Jaylen Brown. A. I mean, I still think he might be A tier as a 2-guard. There aren't that many spectacular 2-guards in this game. He might still be A tier. He really might still be A tier. Jason Tatum. He just about keeps the J in his name. C. I hate that release. Like, he's not as good as these guys in B tier. He's not as good as a Grant Hill. He's fine. He's not terrible, but I think fine is the best word to describe him. Jimmy Butler. E. This Jimmy's probably gonna go E. He's like not, in my opinion, he's not as good as a Bruce Bowen, or he's not as good as a Paul Millsap. They play a similar role. Clarkson, E, very similar to Jalen Suggs. Poole, 1 tier higher. D tier for Jordan Poole. Josh Smith. Me C tier for Josh Smith. Still can hold his own. Like all these months later, and this guy still, in my opinion, is more than capable. He is more than capable of holding his own in my team. So I'm happy with putting him, where is it, in C tier. He's still done well every time you use him. Drew Holiday is D. He doesn't really create an offense. I wish he got a moments card. He should have got a moments card. But I like this card. I like this card quite a lot. So for me, I think this is a fair spot for him. Then we're going to put in Kareem. D. I genuinely don't like this Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like, we've got same tier as DeAndre Ayton, same tier as Dwight Howard. I do not rate this card at all. Like, I know some people are high on him. Yeah, I'm not, lads. I'm really not. So, I'm going to put him in D tier. Then we got Kawhi. And this Kawhi still holds his own. I'm putting this guy in C tier. Like, if you're asking, like, is he outdated? Of course he's outdated. Like, of course this guy is outdated. But at the same time, I still think he can hold his own. If you want to use that Kawhi Leonard, be my guest. Like, I think that he is a very decent player. I think he's very, very decent. I think he is very slept on as far as the better players in this game are. Kelly Oubre Jr., I don't even mind that release. It's very hard to miss with him. He's a huge body 2 guard. Kelly Oubre Jr. D tier. I don't think he's higher than D tier, but I think D tier is fine. Kevin Durant A, purely because there's a better Kevin Durant. Sadiq Bey E, D. I'll go D tier for Sadiq Bey. He does everything in a solid. No. Sadiq Bey, he's in a C tier. He's in that Gus Gerard, Glenn Robinson category. They're very, very similar cards. And you might say I've ranked all 3 of them high, and I'm not going to necessarily disagree with you there. But I think that they're all. I'm happy where I've ranked all 3 of them in the same tier. Okay, so Kevin Garnett, it's here. He's another one where it's like, for me, it's like I prefer Mike into KG, but most people prefer KG to Mike, and even though I use KG, it's Mike and D-Rob KG, depending on playstyle. I love that George Mikan though. I'm gonna put KG in A tier for now, but he might get moved up. Kevin Huerter, wherever Devon Booker is. Where's Devon Booker? Is Booker in D tier? Wherever I put Devon Booker is E tier, so I'm gonna have to put Kevin Huerter in E tier. They do the same thing. I think Booker and Kevin Huerter, they shoot at a similar rate. Booker does other things quite well. Huerter moves a lot better, so I'm gonna put Booker and Huerter in the same tier, both in E tier. I love Kevin Huerter though. I prefer Huerter to Booker. Like, for me, Huerter is better than Donovan Mitchell, who's the best scoring player on E tier. I'll keep him a high E, but I mean, I really want to move him to D. Kevin Mchale B, his release is okay, not great. He's tiny bit undersized, but he's got that super long wingspan. I'll go this tier for him, I guess. This Kevin Mchale is worthless. He stinks. He's so bad. If anyone's ever used this Kevin Mchale, you guys know this guy is like absolute, like, he is full on trash can territory, lads. He is full on. He is well and truly in the middle of trash can territory. He's so bad. He's so bad. Middleton is literally just a cone. He's not a bad cone though, so I'm gonna go D tier for him. I'll go D tier. He holds his own anytime I've had to use him, he's held his own. Clay S. No brainer, S tier. One of the best cards we've seen in the game this year. There's a reason why I put him number 1 on my last top 100 list. Kobe Bryant Dunktober. Now I'm actually gonna move Jaylen Brown down because him and Kobe Bryant, we're gonna put them both in B tier. They've got really good 2 guards, but I do think they both belong in B tier because personally I think like Dr. J and stuff are better than them. So I definitely gassed Jaylen Brown a little bit. Porzingis, I mean, he's D. He's a 7'3" sharp. So I mean, he's not bad. Kyle Korver, he shoots. He's not even really 3 and D, so I'll go E tier for him. Wes. I've never used Wes. This is just a speculation. I'm going to guess Wes Unseld at the power forward position is going to be play fairly similar in game to a Josh Smith. Maybe a little better. Some things a little worse than others. I'm going to go C tier probably for Wes Unseld. He's like, for me, Wes Unseld he just looks like a worse Draymond Green. Lowry, I'm sorry, gotta put you in F. Kyrie, at this stage, you're in worthless tier. You stink. Aldridge, post game's kind of gone to crap, so I'm gonna go F tier for Aldridge. Like, I liked Aldridge when he first came out. These things like Dream Shake actually worked and did stuff. Post game has been nerfed to hell. You can't even shoot fadeaways anymore. Odom F tier. The Aldridge base kills him. We're gonna go E tier for Landry Fields. Landry Fields, an overall solid player. That's all he is, solid. So like, lads, we're like only halfway through this list and we've been here half an hour. So if you're wondering why I'm kind of like rushing through these guys, that is why. Larry Bird. I love Larry Bird in this game. I'm just putting it out there. I really like Larry Bird. I'm gonna go D tier. I'm gonna go D tier with Larry Legend. If you don't agree, that's fine, but I'm gonna go D tier with him. Is Embiid too high at C? I don't think he's probably better than DeAndre Ayton. Embiid might be too high at C. LeBron D as well. This stage of the game, I think this LeBron is D tier. Lou Dort, I mean, he can get some defensive badges, but I mean, he's not the greatest player in the world. He's not even that much better than his Ruby. I'm going to go E tier for Lou Dort. And he's tiny. Steve Nash, F tier. F tier for Steve Nash. He's with Darren Williams. He gets his own dribble style, which is okay. His release is iffy. Like, even the half range Steve Nash isn't that good. Gasol, I'm going to go A tier. As far as centers go, Gasol's definitely an A tier center. He's still one of the better centers in the game. He's just never been good value. He's never been as good as Mike, and he's always more expensive than Mike. And so, like, his price at one stage he was more expensive than D-Rob. Marcus Smart, A. Marcus Smart is still to this day seen as one of the best point guards in the game. Like, he's a Ruby card, and he belongs in A. Like, he well and truly belongs in A. He shoots, he handles the ball well. Even though he doesn't have good ball handle stat, he gets unpluckable with good dribble sigs. And his defense is immaculate. So, is he Gary Payton? No. But for me, he belongs in A tier. Jordan, D, ironically, he plays D. He's D because he only plays D. Doesn't play any offense. Even if it's behind the back. Bridges, A. A tier for Mikael Bridges. That half interceptor, really good release. He is like the perfect cone to use. He is one of the perfect guys to use. There's a reason why he starts for my team. Mikael Bridges at A tier is a perfect player to have. Mike Conley, lads. Mike Conley is going to go E. I like him. I know Denver loves this card, but for me, I think I'm only going to put him in E tier. He's got like basically all the best dribble sigs as well. Miles Bridges. He's definitely not F. I'll go D tier for Miles Bridges. He can actually kind of play. He's just a little bit undersized and can only really play at the 3. Money Mitch at this stage in the game, I'm going to put Money Mitch in E tier. He was alright when he came out. If you chose him as your pink diamond, that's not bad. ML Carr, again, he only really plays defense, so I'm going to put him D tier. Although my weirdly badged out post spinning ML Carr is still balling out for me. I'm just saying, people can't, or you can't knock it unless you try it. Like, my ML Carr is one of my go-to options. My post spinning ML. Moses Malone, I mean, at this stage in the game, he's gonna go C. He's just better shooting Dwight Howard. Russell Westbrook, I'm putting Russell Westbrook in F tier. The guy can't really move. Jumper's actually pretty chicken though. Like, it's slow, but it's easy to green. Then we're gonna go Miles Turner. Miles Turner is gonna go into B. I think he's an all-around solid center to use in game. I don't think he's anything spectacular. Then we have got Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka is going to go into... Why am I going D tier? Where's Chris Bosh? Is it going to be a tier below Bosh? Like, no, I'll put him in E tier. I don't know exactly where I've put Chris Bosh. Yeah, I've put Chris Bosh in E tier. I'm not going to put him in F tier. I'll put in Serge in E tier. Not great, though, at this stage. Calvin Nat, lads. Calvin Nat. A little bit of size. He's literally just Miles Bridges. He goes B tier for Calvin Nat. A really solid player at this stage, but nothing spectacular. So he's going to go B tier. Nate Thurmond. I guess C as well for Nate Thurmond. Similar tier to Moses Malone. Not a bad player at all. Alonzo Mourning. So we're going to go for Alonzo Mourning. We're going to put him in... I've never used this card, so I just want to put an asterisk there. I've never used this card. I'm just going to guess he's B tier. He's either A or B. I'm going to guess he's B. Jokic at this stage of the game. Jokic is E tier. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, RCA. He had his time. He was actually decent for a while, but he's E tier right now. Vucevic... C. C, D. Like, he's one of these two tiers. I'll go D tier. I'll go D tier. But if you want to argue him C, I'm cool with it. OG Anunoby. I'll go D again, but if you want to argue C, I'm cool with it. I don't think he's got a Jimmy or Sadiq Bey, so I'll put him in D tier. Paul George, A. Absolute no-brainer. Paul George, A tier. Brilliant card. If you could play 2, it'd be even better, but I really do like this Paul George card. Then we have got Paul Pierce. I'm surprisingly not as low on Paul Pierce as you think. I'm still going to put him in D tier, but like, I would have thought before last week I would have put him worthless, but I was messing around with that Amethyst Paul Pierce. He's actually not that bad. Just for out of principle, Keith Van Horn worthless there. I don't care. He's definitely not worthless. I don't even mind set shot 4. But just for out of complete just principle, he's in worthless there. Paul Silas, the card is fake, but I mean, if you are one of the people that hacked the game to go get him, Paul Silas is an S tier player. It's not S tier, Jesus, an A tier player. Penny Hardaway. Now for me, the number 1 point guard in the game is Penny Hardaway. Penny is the number 1 point guard in the game for me, whereas Clay and Kobe are the 2 guards. But yeah, I'm not sure what tier I'm gonna put. I don't know which 2 point guards I'm gonna pick. Christian Wood. He's probably C, honestly. His shooting's really good, and he's actually a really decent stretch 5. Pistol Pete Maravich. I'm not as high on Pistol Pete. I don't know why I'm not as high on Pistol Pete as most people. I'm gonna put him B tier. I think he's better than IT. He's not as good as Wall or Smart. Okay, Purvis. C, D, C. I think I might move some guys down, but like this C and D tier are essentially really just all one tier. You can really kind of, like, most players can go up or down tier here, honestly. But yeah, Purvis is going to go C tier. Devon Booker, 1 tier higher than the other Devon, because this one can kind of play defense. I'll go high D tier. He could easily be C, but again, you can say that with most people in D tier. Allen Iverson, if I'm being completely honest, he is by far the best 6-foot player in the game. Like, he is by far the best. I think I might go C tier. Like, it's a surprise to me, but I'm happy with this as well. I'm perfectly happy with Allen Iverson being a C tier, which is rare for a small player. But like, he moves so fast in game. I'm perfectly cool putting him in C tier, maybe even B tier. But yeah, for now he's gonna go C tier. Rajon Rondo, at this stage in the game, he's F. Rozier, F. He's got 107, just keeps him out of worthless. I like his release. Larry Bird, I love this card. Like, people might call me crazy. I love this card, A tier. He can't really dunk the ball. I don't know what it is. I love this card. Like, I sold him because I just needed somebody MT for one of my series, but he's spectacular. Larry Legend is A tier. Rolando Blackman now, lads. Just out of principle, worthless. You need 20 original owner Mavs cards to get him. So just out of principle, completely out of principle, I'm putting him in worthless tier. Is he worthless tier? No, he's not even that bad a card, but I have to. Rip Hamilton. B. High B. He's overall solid, but he just can't create for himself. Tracy McGrady. Now, T-Mac is a tough one, because I don't put him in the top 2 guards in the game. But it's like, does he make it as a small forward into the best 10? T-Mac might. He might make. Him, Dolph, KG are close ones to making that top 10. Walt Frasier. At this stage in the game, wherever Ace and Kid is. Do I have Ace and Kid in D tier or E tier? No, I have Ace and Kid in E tier, so I'm going to put Walt Frasier in E tier as well. Drazen Petrovic. Clutch time is a game. This is not all for competitive play. It's not all for unlimited. Because clutch time is a game mode, I'm putting Drazen Petrovic in B tier. He's one of the best players to use in clutch time. His release is one of the best in the game. I don't care. That base, what's it, base 35 is one of the easiest releases in this game. Such a good release. So Drazen Petrovic, get into B tier right there. Okay, 40 minutes in. It's been a long L video. I need to give my voice a bit of a rest after this. But Bill Russell. I'm gonna put Bill Russell in B tier. B for A. Bill Russell's in A tier. I don't like his release, but objectively, Bill's very solid. Bill's a very solid card. Dominique, good. He's like Clyde Drexler with a worse release. C tier. That's just simply put, that's what he is. He's Clyde Drexler with a terrible release. Richard Jefferson, I mean, slightly better than. He's like Tatum level, wherever Tatum is. They're on a similar level, so we have both of them in C tier. Kobe, 75th or 70 top 75 card. Kobe Bryant S, no question about it. This is the best Kobe card we have seen in years. Kobe Bryant and Clay are the 2-2 guards. That is a given. Domantas Sabonis, I mean, he's F tier. He's not quite worthless. He's not Valanciunas bad, but he's bad. Richie Garen, at this stage of the game, Richie Garen's probably F tier, maybe E tier, but I'll go F tier for now. Jamal Crawford, I mean, he's the most fun player in the game. He's the most fun player on this list. Video games are meant to be fun at the end of the day, and I think A tier is probably good because he's not a bad defender. You gotta give him range and stuff, but like Crawford's so good. A tier. Isaac. I'm torn between B and A. I'm gonna put him A. I'm gonna put Jonathan Isaac in A tier. I really like this card. I really like him. I'm standing by that. Hakeem Olajuwon. Now Hakeem actually puts a little bit of a debate in the centers. Hakeem, Kevin Garnett, Mike and D-Rob. And then Jarron Jackson Jr. is up there as well. I'm going to keep these two for now, but Hakeem's good as well. Duncan, A. Duncan is like Kevin Garnett, but slightly worse. That's basically the best way to describe him. He's Kevin Garnett with worse release. Ray Allen is like way better Allen Houston. I'm going B tier Ray Allen. I'm not that high on him. I don't think he moves well. I think he just shoots well. He's training wheels, but that's the only... Like, he's training wheels for shooting. Everyone shoot with him. But that's the only reason I'm putting him in B tier. I don't rate him that highly. Now, Magic is the third point guard that you can argue. He's A. But that point guard slot, like Peyton, Penny, Magic, even Jamal Crawford, it's tough to pick two out of them. Horford, F. He sets big screens. That's the only thing keeping him off worthless. Steve Nash, because clutch time is a thing, Steve Nash is going to go into C tier. I don't think he's good in clutch time as Drazen is, but because clutch time is a thing, I'm going to put him in C tier with his half range extender. He's not a brilliant card, but he's not terrible. Ricky Rubio. I'll go... He gets like half chef and stuff, but I don't even know how to trigger chef. He gets like a bunch of shooting badges, and he's tall and plays great defense, so I'm going to go D tier with Ricky Rubio. He's like he's not actually bad at all. Rod Strickland, F tier, slightly better version of Kyrie. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now this Giannis is going into the best top tier. Purely because you can put all the shooting badges on him. He is kind of hard to shoot with. There is a bit of a skill gap to shoot with him, but I'm going to put Giannis into S tier. Ron Boone, at this stage in the game, I'm putting Ron Boone in E tier. He's 6'2" with a short wingspan. He's going to go E tier. Wang Zhiji. I know B tier for centers. I think Wang Zhiji is... he's closer to like a Kevin McHale in my opinion. I think he's quite a bit better than like a DeAndre, and he's quite a bit better than like a Josh Smith. And there are no real centers in C tier. I'm gonna put Wang Gigi here, and I think he's very, very close to a Dikembe. I think in terms of level, Wang Gigi and Dikembe are close to each other. I think I prefer Wang, but I think it's kind of even. Scotty, he doesn't play enough offense. Like, he plays even worse offense than ML Carr. So, screw it. D for defense. He's a better offensive player than Bobby Jones and Ben Wallace anyway. Kevin Johnson, E. His stats are okay, but he gets base dribble style and he's a 6'1" point guard. Cliff Hagan, he does a job. C tier. He's fine. He's a cone. C for cone. Now, Draymond. Now, I'm torn. Like, in my opinion, Draymond's better than AD. Draymond's better than Weber. Draymond's got that. I'm going to put Draymond in A tier. Draymond's got that Pro 3 behind the back. He moves well with the ball. He plays lanes. He shoots well. It's a low A tier, but Draymond's going to go A tier for me. Ha. So, Ha-Sung Jin, just because of his sheer size, I'm going to put Ha-Sung Jin in D tier. That's where he belongs, just because of how big he is. Eddie Jones. Now, again, you guys might think I'm gassing it. I love Eddie Jones. I think Eddie Jones is similar to Jason Richardson. I'm putting Eddie Jones in A tier. Eddie Jones and Mikael Bridges, those two off interceptor guys for me, going into A tier. Shaquille O'Neal, E tier. I mean, give me Ha-Sung Jin over him any day. Honestly, give me Ben Wallace over that Shaq any day. Shaq's going to go E tier. Basketball John. I mean, he's F tier. He's F tier in terms of these cards right here, because he's a similar level to like Iverson. Probably not as good as CP3. But I mean, Tiny Archibald's probably going in this tier as well. I'm not crazy enough to put John Stockton and Worthless and Tiny in A tier. But then we have got Sean Kemp. C tier. He's like a non-defense, non-shooting version of Mike in terms of speed and stuff as a point center. Very similar stats-wise to Mike. Badges-wise, a lot worse. Player build, a lot worse. But I'm going to go C tier for Kemp. Then we have got Michael Red. He's another one that's in that top 10 debate. He's A. Like, no-brainer. Michael Red is A tier, but he is going to be in that debate for top 10. Like, so I'm going to move Peyton down because I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, these 6 are, like... No, these 5 are completely set. These are set in stone as top 10 players. Dr. J, I mean, he's A tier as well. He's a really, really good shooter. And moves kind of well. And he's definitely a step up on the likes of Diamond Kobe and Diamond Jaylen Brown. Sean Marion, his upper is a little bit weird, but his defense is spectacular. He hits a lot of whites as well. I'm going to put Sean Marion in B tier. A little bit off the A tier, guys, but Sean Marion's still really good. Sleepy Floyd, worthless. Especially nowadays, worthless. Steph Curry. I mean, I'm putting Steph in D tier, and I'm reluctant to even put him in D tier. Like, for me, he's not even on the level of an Eric Snow, who should be 1 tier. Alright, in saying Eric Snow is C tier. Yeah, he's not even on the level of Eric Snow. I go D. No, D tier is probably the right spot for Steph. Francis pre-patch. Give me A tier, Francis. Post-patch, give me Francis in C tier. I prefer Eric Snow to Francis post speed burst patch. Francis just does not feel the same. He was so good before the patch though. Tobias Harris, he's like a Mello with minus 10 speed. He's like a Mello with minus 10 speed. I'll go C. Tobias Harris, he's still pretty decent. Trey Young. So this Trey Young, I'm gonna go into F tier because he plays no defense, but he can still play a bit of offense. This Trey Young, I'm gonna go into D tier, the Steph Curry tier, because he's basically same as Steph Curry. They're both kind of glass cannons. Neither of them really play too much defense. They both kind of can do the same thing. I've been cooked more times by Trey and Steph, but they've been the same tier. They're just a little bit undersized. Sam Jones, he's very undersized. I'm going to go D tier for Sam Jones. He gets a quick first step and a good release, or he gets a Hall of Fame quick first step and a good release and some good defensive badges. I'm going to go D tier for him. Don't think he's spectacular. Hero, I mean, E tier. He's like a much worse version of Herder. Tyrese Maxey. Now, Tyrese Maxey is an interesting card. What 1 tier behind wherever I have Isaiah Thomas. So if I have Isaiah Thomas in B tier, I'm going to have Tyrese Maxey in C tier. It's like a slightly worse version of him. I really like Maxey. Dunktober Vince. I'm thinking C or B. I think it's C or B. I'll go B. I'll go B with dunked over Vince. He's fine. He's all right. Similar tier to Clyde. Wilt Chamberlain, I'm going to go D tier. He's big. He mashes on people, but he can't shoot it. Like the other Dikembe will go here as well. He's in that similar tier to Kareem, Ha Sung Jin, guys like that. Zach LaVine plays no defense, but is very good on offense. I'm going to go C tier for Zach LaVine. I think I'm fine with that tier for him. Zion Williamson, he sucks. I hate him so much. Worthless. He's a garbage man. Zadrunas Ilgauskas, he's not, I can't put him in worthless because he's a 7-3 shooter. And he's also, there are weeks in limited. He's been good. In at least 30% of limited weeks, he has been one of my 2 centers. So I can't say he's worthless because there are a lot of uses for him, but he's not getting above F tier. Aaron Gordon, just an example of a solid card. C tier, he's solid. Mid-level card, he's solid. Caruso. Again, maybe I'm too hot. Maybe I'm gassing it, but I'm putting Caruso in B tier. I think his jumper is good. He plays lanes really well. His movement is good. For me, he plays like a better Cliff Hagan. He plays like Cliff Hagan if he had half interceptor. Drummond. Now, Drummond is the best interior in the game. He is the best non-shooter in the game. So I'm going to have to put him B tier. Like, the way he plays lanes, I've seen guys that are good with Drummond and they can just play bully ball with him. Andre Drummond, for me, well and truly belongs in here in B tier. Alright, we're down to our last few. Wiggins, A. Now, Wiggins is, again, another one of those that's in that debate for S tier. He's in that debate. We just got to figure out who those last 5 players are. Okay, I'm just going to put the lower tier players in. Out of principle, big countries and worthless. CJ McCollum, he's really good, but he's not as good as Ty said he was. CJ McCollum's E tier. Maybe D tier. No, he's D tier. He's D tier. He's D tier. He's fine. He's just not as gassed as Ty made it out to be. Cliff Robinson, A. He's brilliant. His release, just get used to his release. If you get used to his release, he's one of the best defense players in the game. He's one of the best players, period, in the game. Alright, let's get the lower tier players. D'Lo, E tier. I just don't like D'Lo in this game at all. Who else is bad? Manu Ginobili. His release is so bad that, like, if you're asking me who I prefer, Ginobili or Herder, I'm taking Herder, so I'm putting Ginobili in E tier as well. Jarvis Hayes. Jarvis Hayes is alright, but he's E tier. Like Matisse Thybulle. If Matisse Thybulle was on this list, he'd be D tier. But Jarvis Hayes is going to go E tier. The 2 Embiids are the exact same card. Who else is low tier? Hedo Turcaloo. He's not worthless. He's F though. He's bad. Okay, all of these guys are decent tiers. Actually, Danny Green. Danny Green's probably like D. He's a cone. Really decent defender, but he is a cone. Dame Lillard. I don't like him that much. I really don't. I have him. I kind of liked him for a while, but I'm going to put Dame in A tier. With no real argument for S tier, in my opinion. Dave Cowan's going to go B tier. A little bit lacking in shooting, but he's overall solid. De'Aaron B. De'Aaron B, but it's a close one. De'Aaron's by far the best point guard in B, in my opinion. Including, like, Ja. Well, sorry, he's better in Ja, in my opinion. Boogie Cousins, B tier. I think he's borderline A. I think he's very... No, I'll give Boogie Cousins a low A tier spot. I'll give Boogie a low A tier spot. Detlef B. Detlef is a 6'10 small forward who can shoot. He's like a much, much better version of Danilo Gallinari. Detlef is going to go B tier. Then we got James Harden, A tier. He's definitely not S in my opinion, but he is going to go A. 1 tier higher than the other James Harden. I know we have a lot in A tier, but a few of these guys move to S. Jarron Jackson Jr., A tier. Again, there are a lot of these guys that are in A tier. I love Jarron Jackson Jr. center. I prefer Jarron Jackson Jr. to, even with his 43 steal, I prefer him to DeMarcus Cousins. I really do. I think this is a fantastic, fantastic card, lads, that you guys should all consider picking up. With these guys, B tier for John Collins. He's a very much offensive player. He's really good on offense, doesn't really play much defense, but he does shoot from range and has Kobe release so he doesn't miss. And in these 3 guys right here, I'm going to move all of these up to their tiers at the same time. So it's going to go AAS. So we have got Kevin, we got Jimmy Butler and Jason Richardson in A tier. And then we got Kevin Durant as a no-brainer S tier inclusion. So these guys, Jimmy Butler, one of the best defensive players in the game. We got Jason Richardson as a pretty good player. And he's going to go into A tier as well. So now we're picking the last 4 players. So these are my guys. These are my 6 guys that I have there are no-brainers, top 10 players. So coming in at the at the point guard position, it's between Magic Payton, John Wall, Marcus Smart. I'm not going to put Dame really in that. I think it's between Magic and Payton. I'm going to go Gary. I'm going to go Gary for now, but it's a close one. 2 guards are set. Small forwards, Kevin Durant and Wiggins, T-Mac, Michael Redd, or Paul George. Or even a curveball and put in AK. I think I'm going to go T-Mac. I think I'm going to go T-Mac at the 3 with Kevin Durant. I think I'm going to stick with that. And power forward, Cliff, it's really between... What do I go Jimmy Butler instead of T-Mac? Oh, no, that's a close one. Okay, so it's between Jimmy Butler, Kevin Garnett, Dolph, AK, Batum, Mello, Paul Silas, Larry Bird, Draymond, Cliff. I think I'm going to put Jimmy. I think I'm going to put Jimmy Butler. I'm going to put Jimmy Butler in. So that's my 2 small forwards. And then my last center. It's between George Mike. Forget the others. It's between George Mikan and Kevin Garnett. I prefer George Mikan. But it's, for most people, I'm going to put Kevin Garnett as my final spot. I prefer George Mikan. I'm going to get Kevin Garnett at the final spot. So for me, best point guard, Penny. Best 2 guard, Kobe. Best guy to run a small forward, I'm going to say Jimmy. It's a weird one. If I'm making the team, I would probably use Jimmy Butler. Power forward, Kevin Garnett or Kevin Durant. Center, D-Rob. Yeah, I'm happy with that as my 5. So yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. That is the video. Let me guys know what you guys agree with, what you guys don't. And because I have been speaking for an hour, I've definitely messed up a few. When you have this many cards, it's very easy to mess up. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.